So with solo leveling Arise, when it comes to duping, more specifically to terms with weapons, and we'll talk about hunters. When it comes to duping, one of the easiest ways to go about duping right now is through the hunter's weapons, because of course with hunter's weapons, there's no pay, well I mean there are some pay to win factors, because you can purchase packs to gain resources, but realistically there's no way of summoning, right? In order to get a hunter's weapons, for the most part it's by crafting, by gaining these materials, which you can gain through the game itself, right? Obviously whenever a new hunter drops, you can summon on the hunter's banner, which then gives you resources and materials for the event, and which then comes back to you then being able to craft the weapon, right? So there's that means. But in an overall manner, it does require these certain materials, which again, you can get in-game. There's no way of going about using essence and raid up tickets or custom draw tickets. Who knows, maybe in the future when a weapon banner drops, maybe they'll throw this in there, I don't know. But for the most part, what they've done and how they've kind of gone about doing things is making it so that the hunter's weapon is done in a free-to-play manner, and gaining access to dupes isn't that difficult because, again, resources and materials is something that you can farm up and get over time, right? Obviously, now going into Jinwoo's weapon, that is when things get a little bit more difficult because obviously that's done in a pay-to-win manner. To where it will require tickets. I mean, I say pay to win, the game gives out a ton of tickets, and they are right now, right? So, technically speaking, you can also get it in a free-to-play manner, depending on the amount of summoning tickets that they give out, of course. Now, gaining access to dupes, there's only one way you can do that, as it stands right now, and that is for pay-to-win players, right? It's where they do like a milestone, where if you spend a certain amount, then they'll give you a certain character or a certain weapon. Yeah, again, it's nothing special. We know about this. It's that pay to winness that developers tend to cater to make more money. It is what it is. Nothing new. We've seen it before. You guys get the idea. Now, obviously, when it comes to characters, again, the only means of gaining dupes is once again summoning. Now, I'm sure we've all played games before to where there are some resources and materials that we're able to obtain in-game through events or whatnot, to where we can freely dupe up our characters. And I guess in the case of SLA, maybe in the future dupe up Jinwoo's weapons, who knows? Now, just to further explain on what I'm talking about is, so a game I used to play, Black Clover Mobile. Now Black Clover Mobile, there was a dupe stone, which is this basically. Now what you're able to do is basically pull the character, and then the minute you pull the character, if you had enough dupe stones, then you could basically freely dupe up the character without having to further continuously summon. Now, for the most part, I understand that this sounds like heaven for a lot of people, and it really did help out, especially to those that are free to play, of course, because it's like, damn, I can just go for the one copy, I can save all my tickets and summons for the next character, whilst effectively duping out the current new character, who is actually really good. And yeah, I mean, that was pretty much what I was doing, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I mean, with how generous this game was, I was literally just pulling one copy, maxing them out, and then having all my tickets and resources ready for the next banner. I was literally doing that for the longest. It worked out beautifully. Now, we're not going to go into how much money the game is making right now. 20k. Anyway, so that's effectively what I'm talking about. And the reason why I'm talking about it now, and the reason why I'm bringing up about it now, is because, well, I think it was like 2-3 months ago. So you guys are seeing an image on screen right now. Now, it's going to be difficult on what the developers want to do, because again, effectively it will cost them, because it's a free dupe for any character. And again, you know, it kind of cuts off from the pay to win players, or just in general people summoning furthermore on, because it's just like, why do I need to summon furthermore when I can just apply this resource, this material onto my character to get that free advancement? So that's the thing in question. Now, obviously the image shows it for the hunters. I'm curious on whether or not they'll do the same thing for weapons, more specifically Jinwoo's, because again, as we spoke about it, the hunter's weapon is done by crafting, and so yeah, it'll be interesting to see on whether or not if they want to do something. I feel like they got to do something for Jinwoo's weapon, because again, with the whole custom draw banner, this is abysmal. I mean, then again, if there are weapons banner happening, then I guess that's a bit of a lean way, but still, I wouldn't mind having a resource or a material to give me that free advancement. And again, as I've said, overall, to have this material come in game helps out everyone, and again, more predominantly those that are free to play, dolphins, low spenders, of course, because again, that's a free dupe. That's a free dupe, and if you accumulate a lot, you can max out character for free. There you go. Now, again, like I said, it will affect cost, because again, it will make it so that people won't have to summon. But I mean, if they manage it in a manageable way, then I feel like it would be good for the game. Now, the reason why I say that is because Black Clover Mobile did it in a horrible way, and you guys are going to be like, what do you mean? They made it accessible, so consistent, to where, like I said, every time a new character dropped, I would max them out, and I was doing this for a good solid couple of months. And I know some of you guys are thinking like, oh my god, that sounds like heaven. What? You can max out every character? What? That sounds amazing. And it was. And then you found out how much money the game was making, and I'm telling actually, you know what? Let me just go check how much money the game is making now. So this is the end results. Jesus Christ. Now, I mean, there are other things to factor in, of course, but at the end of the day, the game needs to make money. One of the biggest ways to make money is by summoning, of course, and by making it so that the dupe stones were so easily accessible. This is the end result, right? So at the end of the day, I understand that, you know, a lot of us want these type of resources and materials in game, and if they can provide it in a lot of ways, it would just be amazing for us, the players, to enjoy the game, to have a maxed out character. But the end result is basically this. It's just like, damn, the game's not making any money, the developers are not going to see any point of continuing on, and then we're looking to play a different game. That's the end results. So that's something that I don't want to happen. I've been in a situation like that. I've loved playing it with maxed out characters, but then the upside of it all is to have a game just be dead. It's just not worth it. It really isn't. And by the way, I'm not going to go into what furthermore they've done with it to actually try and cater to the whole duping stone situation. Yeah, it's like level 125. It's bad. I can't touch that game. I'm sorry. So with all that being said, if they micromanage the amount of times they give out that specific dupe, like, what if they make it so that they give it out during the celebration times? One free dupe. I think that would be nice. I think that would be pretty solid to have, right? During celebration times, maybe through a login or maybe an event, there's a way to get access to a free, so basically this image, so a free resource material to give you one free advancement on a character and one free advancement on a weapon of Jinwoo of your choice, and only do this during celebration times, so that way it's not as consistent, it's manageable, it's one free advancement. I think this would be pretty solid. So in terms of if it was available now, it would be so that we would have one free advancement right now, because we're celebrating the 100-day celebration, and then the next time we get this type of material, it would be in November when we've got the half anniversary. That will then exclude on the Arise Festival for, actually, well, then again, December's not a celebration, so half anniversary. So it'll be 2 times a year for this year on us getting those resources if they did go about doing it now, which then makes it so that we'll then furthermore get more of it next year, only aiming for the celebration times. I think that would be a nice little touch, and again, I think that would furthermore help out all players when it comes to gaining dupes to make their character stronger, as well as their weapon stronger, and overall, you know, catering to the support level. Again, I mean, the game itself is getting tougher with like the newer content that they're releasing, especially with the power level. So I think overall, if they just kind of micromanage on how they go about providing these resources and materials, I think it will do good for the game. So yeah, and by the way, the reason why I mentioned celebration times is because I'm curious on whether or not if they'll actually introduce this during the half anniversary. That would be pretty sick if they do, though. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be pretty dope.